Hey! Been a long time, girl.
I know. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Your hair's long.
Oh yeah, yours is shorter and pink. Yeah. So you've been doing amazing things with your Heal Scotland. It's been incredible.
It's been quite the journey. Quite the journey. Yeah. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. This healing nonsense.
So you're writing, are you going to write it all up?
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to lobby for change. That's the mission. Change the language that they use to describe the body and have all the things that we've done here on offer at the GP's surgery. That's the plan.
Change the language so I can understand you too.
I've lost your Scottish ears.
Aye.
So listen, tell these guys about your new project and tell me, obviously, about your new project.
You mean separate from the cells?
Yeah, no, the elemental.
The element. Okay. I can send you a link. I don't know if I sent you a link to the introduction. I did an introduction, a video the other day.
Yes, you did.
Okay. So basically, besides our body being made of trillions of cells, we have skillions of molecules. And the molecules are the chemicals that make up our cells. Many years ago, I started photographing not just the cells, but the molecules. Because I was showing kids with the stuff that their body was made of.
Yes.
And I wanted them to see the beauty that was us.
Yes.
Long story short, friends asked me to photograph minerals related to astrology. Far-fetched as you could get. since I had no belief in astrology at all, but the 12 minerals because I would show them to kids to help them understand how their bodies worked. That's how I always use the pictures. And then when I photograph these 12 minerals, I see four shapes, and I looked at where in the world could there be. Is there a quality of 4 in astrology? And it was the 4 elements. And the shapes of the molecules fit the elements. Oh, I should actually, well, can I pull up the picture? They fit the elements.
Yes, please.
Pick up the picture?
Yeah.
Okay, see if I can. You kind of caught me off guard. I was thinking we were going to talk about cells. Okay, so
cells too.
Okay, so where's introduction? Chat elemental, where's the keynote? Okay, I can't pull it up. I mean, it's going to
take time. No, we can look at that. We can look at it separately. Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so what I'm going to tell you 4 shapes before I tell you the story. Because how many of you know your astrology? At least know your sun sign.
Yeah. I don't.
Some of you know your sun sign?
Yeah.
Okay, so there are 4 shapes: round, squiggly, square, and hexagon, six-sided. So usually what I'm seeing is there's our inner knowing tends to understand the shape of molecules, believe it or not.
Yes.
So when I've asked people, pick out your favorite shape, and I'll put the 4 shapes on the screen, often people pick their sun sign or their rising sign or what they're missing. So how many of you would pick your favorite shape? Anybody?
What was the question?
What's your favourite shape?
Hexagon is six-sided.
Yeah.
I would go with hexagon, I think.
And what does a squiggle look
Okay.
like? Just a wavy line?
Squiggly, this would be a squiggly, like a wave. Oh, let me see if I have them all. Do I have them all on my desk?
No, circle, square, squiggly, or hexagon.
You
What you got?
So I just so happen to have many of the pictures on my desk, but not the. So we have rounded, our circles.
Uh-huh.
We have wavy.
Mhm.
I don't have hexagons. We have squares.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm liking that.
Round, wavy, squares, a hexagon. I don't have a hexagon here. So, since you're not seeing the pictures, it's probably hard to choose immediately which image would speak to you. So if you chose round,
Rounds, yeah.
anybody choose round?
Yep.
Yeah, one did. Two did.
When's your birthday?
July.
Well, I'm going to ask all the questions. July. How about curvy?
Hillary.
Anybody pick curvy?
August.
August.
January.
Okay. Okay, curvy, and then we've got
Hexagon. I was
square.
Square.
I was square.
Hillary.
Square.
Mine when I saw the picture. I'm March.
So when's your birthday? When's your birthday?
March 26th.
March?
Yeah.
Okay, so not seeing the pictures. Okay, the end of March or the beginning of March? Well,
End of March.
okay. So you're an Aries?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're an Aries. So it doesn't work without showing the pictures, I'm guessing. So, yeah, you have to kind of
I tune in.
align yourself with the pictures. So in looking at these four shapes, all the air signs were square. All the minerals related to air signs were square.
Wow.
All the minerals related to water signs are curvy. Like today, the sun went into Cancer, and this is the mineral for Cancer. And the mineral gives the body flexibility, and it looks like this. And all the minerals, air signs were square. So the moon tonight goes into Aquarius, and this is Aquarius's mineral picture. And all the I said water signs, and then all the fire signs were hexagons, six-sided. So water minerals, water is Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. Air square is Gemini, Gemini, Libra, and Gemini, Libra, Gemini, Libra. Oh, Aquarius. Water, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Fire, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So, I mean, what I've started doing, these pictures, finally feeling safe enough to talk about it, is that it helps us with some inner understanding. I started doing readings on people a couple of years ago, and I see that one, there's an inner knowing. There's some inner knowing about the elements in your chart, whether you know anything about astrology or not.
Yes.
I've done a lot of photography with wine and taste, and when I show the pictures of sugar and caffeine, most people know which one is caffeine. So it's like, what's that knowing about? How can we possibly know about the shapes of molecules? Where does journey to see how we can use these kinds of images to help us understand ourselves better and understand other people better and our relationship with nature. So it's been, I started doing relationship readings, and I've learned a lot. It's kind of fun. In terms of relationships, what I see an example is knowing the qualities of the elements in terms of personality. It's like air signs are the mind, the intellect. They like to communicate. They have lots of ideas. Just like we know our dear Lilia is an air sign. She's got lots of ideas, very social. We don't think of air being social. It's in the mind to communicate your ideas to other people. So in doing a reading on a married couple that I know well, I'll share this story, is their elements are very similar, except he has no air. And I always thought that he was antisocial because he didn't like to come to events. And it's like I was judging wrong in my head that he doesn't like us. He's not coming to these events. And then once I did his chart, I realized he doesn't, that's an element or a quality of his personality that's missing, that he's not social. And, you know, better, it's like, I don't have to make that judgment. I can understand it's not something he's worked on. It's not something he cares about. So sometimes we want to fill in our emptiness by fixing it, which in doing readings, I often, what are the remedies if we've got something missing? Do we attract people, or, you know, light fires or candles in the mornings, you know, something like that. So it's been really an interesting journey to
so cool.
go deeper. Yeah, I think I spoke I was in Scotland, but I've never really spoken more publicly until this week, actually.
Good for you. Good for you. Right, so cells,
Cells.
That's how we met, obviously, was our passion for
cells.
Cells
are us.
Yeah.
Cells are us. So, Wolf, let's take a moment to and just get present. You might want to close your eyes and just, actually you could just close your eyes and I'll take you into your cells before I talk about them. So take a deep breath in and let go of any mind chatter with your exhale. Take another deep breath in. Let go of any expectations. And take one more deep breath in to be able to receive the wisdom of your cellular world, your cellular environment. And still with your eyes closed. As you breathe, breathe into that place that feels like your center. No right or wrong, it's just what feels like the center of you right now. And then bring your awareness to what feels like the outer edge of you. And the outer edge could be your skin, it could be beyond your skin. Imagine that that center of you is the center of your cells. And the outer edge of you is the rim or the membrane. And this container of you is constructed by trillions and trillions of cells that hold your spirit, that hold your energy. And one way to bring your cells together is with sound. So we're going to do 3 hums. And there's lots of research on the power of humming for healing our cells and ourself. So when we hum, we're taking a deep breath in, and on the exhale with your mouth closed, just make a sound. And let's start, I'll start it out for you. Taking a deep breath in. And I know you're not shy, so be willing to hum to yourselves. And you may actually feel the connection between your center and your outer edge. And you may also feel your cells starting to vibrate, your body starting to vibrate. So when you have more time, you can visit this simple exercise, bringing yourselves into attunement with your cells. And so when you're ready, thank your cells for holding you, for loving you, for taking good care of you. And slowly open your eyes and come back. So our cells are string instruments. If we look at the structure of a cell, we've got the center is the nucleus that contains our genes. Outside of the cell is the membrane, and that receives information. You probably have all read Bruce Lipton, and he talks about the receptors on the surface of the cell taking in information. He often calls that the brain, but actually the brain are the strings in the side of the strings inside the cell. So if we picture, wanted to do this without pictures, so it's a new, I always teach with pictures. So if you can imagine these tiny invisible cells that are you, there's like a spider web. And that spider web in every cell is able to vibrate and move. And then when it's vibrating, it's changing the expression of the cell. It's changing the expression. It influences every activity that the cells can do. So the mastermind or brain of the cell is this webbing, like the shirt, the webbing inside our cells. And I've been a big proponent of the sound in the cells, sound being a major healer, because it bypasses the intellect. And although we know that music influences our brain, we also know that music and sound and humming and chanting influences us at a cellular level, one cell at a time. So when we're humming, there's been a whole lot of research. I used to always have people hum group, but it wasn't until last year, and it related to some old research related to the psychological sense of yourself. When we hum, there's been research that shows we get a deeper sense of ourself if we're humming for 15. It doesn't ask for a lot. But last year, John, some of you might be familiar with his work. He's a sound healer. He's been a sound healer for decades. He came out with a book, The Humming Effect. And he was actually able to report the research, the physiologic research on the power of humming. It lowers the blood pressure. It lowers the stress hormones, 15 minutes. It increases endorphins, which decrease our experience of pain. So there are a lot of physiologic benefits of humming, and it's something that we can easily do, and we know we've got a self-healing strategy that doesn't cost us anything. And I'm always recommending find a song what's your favorite song that, you know, I'm not a morning person, so I need energy to get me going in the morning. And often I will be playing music that I've made a playlist to get me going, to get my, and any kind of quick fixes, especially if you need the science behind it. Okay, music goes on through both hemispheres. It's not just sphere. And we have no idea, why did music evolve? Never been science in terms of understanding music and evolution. Why was music created? Every culture uses music. A lot of animals use music, and it's an emotional language. So if you find yourself in that place of a funk of, oh, I'm not going to get better, or I feel crappy, blah, 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 have a playlist, have music that you can use to attune yourselves, because we're putting ourselves in attunement. We're tuning them up to what we want them to do and be.
See, Dr. Joe Dispenza's talking about microtubules now.
Say that again?
Joe Dispenza is talking about microtubules now.
Oh, it's all about microtubules. I mean, microtubules are part of the strings.
Yeah.
So the part of the fabric, it's called the cytoskeleton. So this fabric of webbing is really made up of very fine strings and microtubules and filaments, very different shapes. And the microtubules have so much power in the cell. They're like trains. If one part of the cell is, like the mitochondria, is producing energy, how does the cell know where that energy is supposed to go? Well, the microtubule train part of the cell is able to move the energy molecules to where they need to go, to move the protein where it needs to go. I mean, if you think about it, how do the cells know all this to be able to keep us alive? How do they know, oh, it's time to make more energy, or what's compromising? I mean, when we're dealing with our health and healing, it's like, well, what's compromised? What compromises our cells' ability to make energy? One is stress and being in tension. It's like if you've got your shoulders up to your ears, or you've got clenched fists, that's tightening up, that's constricting your body, and that's lowering your cellular level ability to make energy.
Mm-hmm.
And you can easily let go of that, especially with sound. I mean, you can easily let go of it. And laughter.
Yeah.
Laughter's a big one. I mean, it's common sense. I mean, to really understand yourselves beyond the science, it's all common sense. It's what our ancestors knew. Walking out in the earth, I don't know about swimming in the lake, if that's what our ancestors knew how to do, but you that you have a lake right by you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A very cold lake.
Yeah, a very cold lake. Yes, I watch your pictures. Like, I don't know how you do it. So is it to the lake?
Sorry?
Is everybody going into the lake, or just you?
Not quite everybody, but a few have been very committed. A few have been dabbling in and out. Yeah. So everybody's been in at least once. So we have the Wim Hof instructor coming back on Sunday, tomorrow actually. So we'll be in on Sunday again and to see.
Great, great.
So listen, tell me about, have you got 2 online courses now?
I have 3, but I have the less stress class online.
That's the one I was.
I have activating your cellular intelligence, which I had done a 6-week course at Sonoma State in person, which is, I like doing things in real live people in the room.
Yes.
And then I put that online, which was interesting to do. And where I want to take that one in the next iteration of it is to be more the cell shaman, to be more of the spiritual aspect and rich, although I haven't done it that way yet. I mean, doing the bowl is the first level of any kind of ritual. But I do a lot of guided meditations and those classes. And then there's the elemental one starts this week, starts on Tuesday. And that's a first.
That's
yeah.
cool.
The activating intelligence is, I keep on synthesizing it, similar to what I taught when I was in Scotland.
Yes.
You know, awakening your cellular intelligence. That keeps on, that's the place to go.
Yes.
And a key question that women in the class asked was, how do we activate our cellular intelligence?
Mm-hmm.
And it made me think, it's always activated. It's always there. What compromises our cellular intelligence or if we're in a state of stress, and stress is body or mind.
Yes.
The brain doesn't know the difference. The body doesn't know the difference. Feel and imagine.
Yes.
So if we can imagine, and I know Dr. Joe talks about that too. If we can really get into the belief system, if I'm imagining that this illness doesn't exist and imagine my sense of well-being, the body doesn't know the difference. So the more we hold that kind of picture and the emotions related to it, the stronger we get reprogrammed. I mean, it's really a possibility to
Yes, totally.
give us another message. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, well,
Totally.
we know lots of people who have done it. It's just finding it somewhere inside you to do the work, to do the practice, to find the belief and then the inner knowing. That's the challenge that everyone has. You know,
Exactly.
we have the data. We got the science, Sondra.
We have this data and we have the science, and you know, the biggest thing is to believe it and put it into practice, because the science is just a science experience.
Yes.
So the experience, it's like riding a bike or swimming. You need to, it's like meditation. We need to practice to be able to build that muscle, whatever it is, the belief muscle or loving yourself muscle, wherever we need to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
The belief muscle. That's
I always say, take yourselves for a walk.
Yes.
If nothing else. I mean, and I'm guilty of it. Sitting is the new smoke.
Yeah.
So many of us just are inert. I mean, I have to really discipline myself to get out and walk.
Yeah. Sitting, using iPads. That's the new big problem for the health.
Oh yeah. Everybody's on screens.
Yeah.
Yes. So take yourselves for a walk, even if you don't have a dog.
Yeah. Can you show the guys some of the pictures of wine? I can see one behind you. Do you have any of these pictures that you've?
Well, the one you can see right behind me is a white wine through the microscope. And and this picture is a.
What was it? Can you say that again?
This one is a blend of two minerals. So these are minerals. This part of my window. And let's see if I can I get this? Yeah, I can get that off. But I can't get the other. Okay, and the one up on the top, the squares, that's the mineral for Libra. Oh, and the other one above my head.
Yes. The white, that's the wine there.
Let's see. Is
above your head?
See the blues, like.
Yeah.
let's see if I can, there.
Yeah.
That's the molecule that stores energy in the body.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, I kind of
Oh, look at
go overhead. So these are a couple of other wines and fermentation. I'm surrounded by it all.
they're in your book, the book that you gave me. They're so beautiful.
Yeah, well, life is beautiful.
Yeah, it sure is. You're freezing a little bit, so that's why there's a wee bit of a delay.
Okay, are we now okay?
Yeah, we're good now. So what advice would you give to these guys? They're going home on Monday. What would you say, all your years of working with people who are trying to heal, etc.? What advice could you pass on that could help them?
One is to not listen to other people that may doubt what you're doing.
Yeah.
I know many years ago I had the likely diagnosis of liver cancer, and my daughter wanted me to move fast and put me in the tumor board and things like that, and I had to deal with it in my own way. And it really showed me that our doctors, our family can really push us into a direction we don't want to go. So you have to really trust your own judgment, whatever it is, whichever way you want to go.
Yeah.
And
I forgot that story.
the practice help you listen. If it's taking it, when I had to face that possibility, I did everything in the Secrets of Your Cells book. I did everything that I used to teach kids about, that I used to teach other people about. Meditate every day, call in for guidance, do guided imagery, walk, eat healthy. I mean, all the things you're doing. Eat lots of greens, take some time to laugh and listen to lots of music. Actually, the music, for me, music and movement, dancing out my feelings was really an important part way back when I was dealing with a lot of emotional pain I didn't know how to get rid of, and I couldn't get rid of it going to a therapist. I was doing work with this woman, Anna Halpern, now 96 or something. And Anna, you might not know her work. She's here. She's been traveling all over the world. She was diagnosed with colon cancer when she was about 40. And she had been a modern dancer. And she intuited that she was supposed to start dancing and drawing what was going on in her body. And they did a colostomy. But here she is at 90 plus, 95 plus, still dancing. So was able to heal a lot of what was going on in her mind and soul, because that's where, a lot of the healing has to take place. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, listen, I was telling these guys about us dancing in Malta to Like a Prayer to Madonna.
That was a great time.
Oh, it was such a fun trip, So it's
Great
fantastic
time
to see you, and I hope to see you in the flesh. Maybe not this year, but maybe next year for sure.
I love seeing you all, and I could, if you want, I could send you a video on a basic thing on cells to show everybody.
That'd be awesome. Awesome. Yeah.
Because I wasn't sure how we were going to do this, and I want to answer whatever questions you might have.
Does anybody have any questions?
I think you're a very inspiring lady.
Was that a question?
No, I was just saying, I think you're a very inspiring lady.
She speaks your language too. it's hard enough for me to understand in the same room. I will learn Scottish next time. Yeah. Yeah.
You said you're very inspiring.
Thank you.
You're very inspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm inspired by you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm inspired by you, by what you're doing. And I did a card.
Oh.
This was the card. And this was the card for.
That's
Wow.
what I got the other day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
She gave them to me. Yeah, because I've got your cards. You brought me these cards.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
I do that. Oh, thank you so much for asking me. It was a pleasure. And on this first day of summer, it was perfect.
Solstice. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. Lots of love.
Thank you.
Lots of love to you. Bye.